welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's November the 24th, 2023, and we have an exciting mail week. We have had so much stuff come in. We've had all this, we've had this, and we've had these ones come in too. So some great surprises here. Some will be future videos. I will hint at them today, but you'll have to come back next week to see some of the other stuff. We've got 8 official post-crossing ones I'm going to start with to show you, and I've got a whole bunch of other things that have just showed up. So I think you'll have fun. I know I've had fun looking at what has been arriving every day at my P.O. box, and you guys never fail to amaze me at what you guys find and send in. So sit back, relax, and make sure you subscribe, like, and leave positive comments. Share with other people, do all those fun things. All right, let's get into the official post-crossing. To start, the first one comes from Russia, and I think it is ever so cute, if you want to do that. So we have a nice rainy postcard, but it's more than just rain. It's rain in the imagination of this child. You can see the rain jacket that's kind of imagined here, the water level with all the fish swimming in it. She is just thinking about all the wonderful things that could be happening with this rain, and maybe mom is just trying to get on to the next thing. She's got her groceries and things in place. So beautiful card. This one comes from Anastasia. She says she's living in a small student town in Tomsk in Siberia, and they had a bit of a snowy day. Every autumn we have a lot of rainy days, but this year we have been given warm autumn days. So that's kind of nice that you've had nice autumn days. We kind of have too, so for the most part. Here are the stamps. So thank you so much, Anastasia, for that. I love it. The next card comes from Russia as well. It's a blue cat card. This one comes from Olga, and she says that she's living in a small Russian town as well, very close to Leningrad. And the nice blue cats said they had their first snow yesterday. So they're both talking about snow. And I said, I wish you peace and all the best. So thank you, Olga, for that. And then there are the stamps. And then a third one showed up from Russia. This one came this way in an envelope. There are the stamps. And inside there were 2 cards. So there was this one here, a nice beach. It says she adores traveling. She said in September they went to the Baltic Sea to a resort, awesome place. They enjoyed the beach. And she says, I became a model at 65, walked on the catwalk and feel like a princess. Life starts after 50. This comes from Nadia. Nadia wasn't done. She sent me this blue cat card as well. Now this one isn't, you can see here, all written in Russian in the back. I did do a translate on it, and this here says meow, but it talks about all sorts of different things. You can Google Translate it if you pause it and look on it there, so you can see what it says. So thank you, Nadia, for those cards. The next card comes from Austria. It's a 1,000 Shen postcard, beautiful tram. This comes from Petra, and Petra says this tram is where her daughter goes off to school, and she lives in the community, she works in the community building very close to here. That's where she has her office. She says she loves going on the tram because she gets the chance to see her beautiful city of Vienna. And Vienna is a very fantastic city. We spent a very short time there, and one day we'll go back again, but that's way back in 1997 was the last time first and only time I was in Austria. My wife and I went there and traveled through and saw some wonderful places, but definitely a place to go back to. All right, so thank you, Petra, for that. And Petra's into cool things like F1 as well and Harry Potter, so it's nice to know that there are other people interested in the same type of things. Now, speaking of 1,000 Shen and Austria, here is another card that showed up from Austria, another 1,000 Shen postcard. And this one comes from Bridget, and she lives in Salzburg, another beautiful city. She said, autumn is finally here after a rather warm October, around 25 degrees in October. So we had similar days, but not all the days were that wonderful, so I'm sure we're having similar weather to some. This card was written on November the 5th, yes, and it was 12 degrees. So as I remember last week around that time, we were also having similar type weather. And here's a nice Bambi stamp, a mushroom stamp to go along with it. So thank you so much, Bridget, for that. My next card comes from Taiwan, and says a warm greetings from Midwestern Taiwan. Her name is Huya, and she works in the post office as a counter staff. She likes collecting postcards, stamps, and postmarks, and of course postcrossing. Connecting with the world are her hobbies. So thank you so much for that. And look at this beautiful temple stamp. Thank you, thank you. All right. My next card comes from the United States. It's a World Postcrossing card. This one kind of made me laugh when it was written upside down, or it was printed upside down. But she says she's from California near San Francisco. She has a boring job at a bank, and I'm just glad it pays the bills. Happy World Postcard Day. And that's all she wrote. But she did put this nice tiger costume sticker on there. But yeah, it just made me laugh. I think a lot of us have jobs that we do just to pay the bills. Some of us are very fortunate to love what we do and look forward to going every day, and maybe don't want to leave at the end of the day. But I think a vast majority of people work in the fields that they work in because it was a job they got and it pays the bills. So if you have a job that you can enjoy every day going into, or most days going into, feel very fortunate. And there is the forever stamp. So thank you, Catherine, for that. All right, my last official one came in an envelope, and it came from the Netherlands. And there's the stamp. And inside, there was this maxi card. You can see the stamp there. On the back, it says, hello from Mar. She lives in the eastern part of Holland. It says on Wikipedia, you can look to see why they're called Blauw Wigners. Happy postcrossing and have a great day. And that's all they've written. But she also included this first day cover. Unfortunately, it was bent in half, but the sentiment is still there. I love that. And she has included, I keep saying she, I really don't know. Mar, it could be male, could be female. So if you do watch this, let me know. I'd hate to make a mistake along the way and give credit where credit should be elsewhere. But there were some postage stamps that were included in that too. So I'm going to save that and show those in another video. That is it for my official post-crossing ones. Now I'm going to show you some of the friend mail and stuff coming. I'm going to start with this one because I'm not really going to show it to you. I'm going to show you the envelope, and look at all these great British stamps. A variety of them. None of them were canceled. We are going to go into this at a later date because it is someone who reached out to me, and I was very happy that they did. So we're going to talk about that in the future. All right, the next card I have, I've seen it before because I watched Snail Mail with Smokey, and this very nice orange postcard, love shaped cards, comes from Catherine in Florida. She says she recently found my YouTube channel, really likes watching it. She's a member of Postcrossing and loves sending out many cards that letterpress cards are some of her favorite. I tried to find enough Florida-related stamps. Here we go. Look at all the older Florida-related stamps. This is this one, not a Florida stamp. But yeah, she did pretty well finding a lot of them. So thank you, Catherine. Thank you for watching, first of all. Thank you for blessing me with a shaped card. I do enjoy them, and I really enjoyed seeing it on Smokey's channel as well, so I'm glad you found both of us. All right, my next card comes from Quarantine in France. So we have this card, and he goes on to explain the stamps that are on the back. Let me show you the stamps. This one here got a little bent, but they are Red Cross stamps. He wanted to know if the Red Cross was here in Canada. It is, I believe it is all around the world, for the most part. So they do great things helping out people in need. He said the Red Cross there was founded in 1859. And I can't tell you when Red Cross first started here in Canada, but yeah, 1859 is when it started by Henry Dunant. And there is a picture of Henry Dunant right there. And then it was following the Battle of Solferino. There, you can see the pronunciation or the spelling of that. So I like when he explains a bit about the cards. Now, imagine this. I got one card from France this week. Imagine if I got 2 cards from France. That would be amazing. What if both cards were exactly the same? Well, the chances are pretty good because this one comes from Quarantine as well. He sent a second card, and he says, it's in the same postcard you'll receive a historic building reference. So we just looked at that one with the old windmill. So he goes on to explain all the different items that are on there, including the last medieval arch that's there. What does he say? 1659, still standing. Amazing. And then the Alderman's Palace is there of residence, and residence of the sisters in the 19th century, the Hall City. So that's what we're looking at. But on the back, Jilly Bee, you may like this. Look at all the bumblebee stamps. Nice variety, Quarantine. I really appreciate it. Really appreciated both cards and the explanations. One on the stamps and Red Cross, and then the images of places in your town. All right, moving on. This one comes from Kara in Washington, and her family recently went here to visit in Spokane, Washington. Said they have rescued many animals, mainly large cats. It's a neat place to go, and her kiddos had a great time. So that's all you really expect in the end. Look how she decorated. We got some Lego in there and some bears. Beautiful decoration. I have this washi tape and the forever stamp. All right, this next card, another touristy card. This one comes from Charlie in the Netherlands, and she says she was visiting her parents, and they live on the German border, so she can send out mail from there as well, because there are the German stamps that she's got on there. It's nice that she got a chance to visit with her parents. And she says, I have to deal with these flower stamps because sometimes she runs out of the nicer looking ones. I mean, these are all nice stamps, so nothing wrong with that. Thank you, Charlie, I appreciate it. I said, this is the town where my last name is based on. I'll give you a hint. There you go. But Charlie wasn't done. She did a little bit more traveling, and this one made me laugh too. She went to Belgium, and she said, hello, dear Rob. Again, greetings from Belgium, and now doing a bird fair with her father. All right, you have to tell me what a bird fair is. I do not know. Do you go out and count birds? Do you look at them in the wild? Do you bring birds and watch them play with other birds? I don't know. So explain to me what a bird fair is. But she's done this for the weekend, and then between writing the cards and working, she said her mom is also going to come over and celebrate his birthday. So happy birthday to your father. Now let me show you the stamps. There are the Belgian stamps. Now let me show you the card. We've got the Simpsons in the Garden of Eden with Mr. Burns as the snake, and they get Homer with his favorite donut with the appropriate foliage covering them. So yeah, it made me laugh. I like it, Charlie. Thank you so much. This next card also made me laugh. This one comes from our friend Renee Lewis in Arkansas. She says, I laughed out loud when I saw this card. It's hilarious. Please don't... Okay, I won't explain what it says because I'm going to show it to you. It was a long day, and I'm going to enjoy a night with pizza and wine. Pizza and wine? Oh, pizza and a gin and tonic. All right, well, she's going to have a drink and some food. So probably well-deserved after a long week. It's been a long week here, too. Lots of stuff going on. Let me show you how she has put stamps on the back and decorated with some washi. Now, let me show you. Don't use my face soap on that. How many people have said that about it? My imagination goes into the gutter quickly. So I have an idea what that could be, but maybe the person that she was living with used her face soap to wash the floor, or the other things, probably not. But yeah. All right, thanks Renee, thanks for the giggle. These next few cards are from Ross. So if you know Ross's proclivity in sending cards, he's done it again. First one though, October 24th, he sent this one from Chicago. So last batch of cards I showed from Ross, he was in Chicago. This one got stuck somewhere along the way, and so It finally arrived. He said, a city of big shoulders, the second city, although now it's third in population after New York and LA. Did you know that? That Chicago is the third largest city in the United States? If you didn't, you do now. All right, after he finished in Chicago, I don't know if he went home or what he did, but by November 9th, he found himself in Finland. So we got a card from Helsinki. He said, this city's has a Halifax vibe. So, you know, Halifax, Nova Scotia here. You've probably been featured on a few of my cards that I've sent out. If Helsinki is a larger version of that, I'm sure it's a very beautiful city, because so is Halifax. There is the finished stamp. And then he sent another one from Helsinki. All these nice images. He says, I have to admit, he hasn't seen any of these things on the cards since he's been there. So I'm sure working, he probably doesn't get a lot of chance to see everything in all the different cities he goes to. But he did send this card too from Helsinki. So he hit the jackpot in a Helsinki bookstore with odd postcards. So they kind of look like Moomin. I know they're not, but it is a little bit different with the umbrellas and the little villages, and I'm not sure what's going on here. And there's the stamp and the cancellation. And then from there, it looks like on the 11th, so on the 9th, he was in Finland. On the 11th of November, on Remembrance Day, he was in Scotland. So he's got this fluffy cow, or a Highland cow. And there is the stamp with the barcode, because as you know, British stamps have barcodes now. And then he sent this one from Edinburgh. And he said he was there to see his nephew play hockey. Same Christmas stamp there. And then he sent this one here. He says, you have to really be a good dog to get a statue made of you. So, what a good dog. And the stamp. And then this one here from Dundee. He saw his nephew Jake, who plays for the Dundee Stars in the Elite Ice Hockey League. And that was on the 12th. And then we have this one. This one got a sticker across it, and I can't really peel it off without ruining it. So we've got a beautiful bagpiper in the Highlands blowing his instrument. And he says, yep, everywhere you go, there's somebody wailing away on the pipes. Can't concentrate, sleep. It's constant. I do like bagpipes. I don't know if I want them all the time, though. So if that was the truth, it would be hard. Unless they're really good at it. You know, if someone who can play Amazing Grace on the bagpipes, it's beautiful. Someone who is just learning the bagpipes, not so beautiful. And then we have Waiting Patiently for Your Call. This one here. It says, a fun UK fact is stamps without barcodes are no longer valid. So he put that one, but he also put these two that he had, just because he had them and they weren't good for mailing anymore, so he might as well use them up. All right, so then the 12th, he left. He went to Germany on the 13th. So we have this one here from Nuremberg. He says, first mentioned in 1050, the second largest city in Bavaria, the 14th largest city in Germany, delicious sausages and beer. There's the stamp. And this one here, I also didn't know the fact about this one. She said, Sandra Bullock, the actress, you know, spent much of her childhood here, as her father was in charge of the U.S. Army Postal Service in Europe. I didn't know that. And I know I have lots of German people that watch, so did you know that U.S. actress Sandra Bullock's father was in charge of the U.S. Army Postal Service while stationed in Nuremberg? And then we have a nice Christmas one, sent from his whole family, but sent from Germany. And then this, I want to say beautiful. It's not really beautiful. This is a postcard of Nuremberg in 1945 after the war, after the Allied forces had completely destroyed it. But he says he walked in this area tonight and the rebuilding was done so well, you would swear the buildings were all hundreds of years old. So that's nice to know that out of a huge tragedy and out of war, good things can come. It gives us hope for the wars that are still raging around the world right now, that hopefully one day you'll be able to walk in those streets and never know that something evil had happened. So yeah, thank you, Ross. Makes me think of that. So there we go. And then one more from Ross. We have a nice hedgehog. And he's written in it in German on the back. And so I have no idea what it says. I'll have to Google translate it if it will read his writing. So thank you, Ross, for all the collection of cards. I really appreciate you sending me stuff while you're traveling. All right, this next card comes from Canada, even though it is a card of Stonehenge. This comes from Terry in Ontario. She wanted to thank me on my congratulate me on my 1,000 subscribers and loving Stamp versus Stamp. So hopefully you guys watch Stamp versus Stamp too. It's a collection of videos, collection of 2 so far, that Snail Mail with Smokey and I have put together where we kind of do something a little bit different, but it's about stamps. It's usually a question and answer. We've had 2 different style videos so far. I think the second one was less confusing than the first one, even though I had a lot of fun creating the first one, just because I knew it would be quirky and it would not upset people, but it would get people thinking about it. So if you haven't watched Stamp versus Stamp, you should check it out. And I appreciate, Terry, that you have done that as well. So said they're getting in the Christmas spirit now, getting Christmas lights up and such. There's the stamp. So thank you. This next card comes from Bob in Ontario. And he said he was in Ottawa for work. And he made the ultimate Canadian mistake by not listening to the weatherman. He's underdressed and it's so cold. He says if he doesn't make it out alive, it's been a pleasure. Only kidding. So yes, I'm sure you made it out alive. We Canadians are tough. There is one of the winter stamps, the domestic rate winter stamp. It wasn't canceled. I'm hoping we're going to talk more about that stamp and the other 2 that were created soon. All right. This next card comes from Jessica in South Carolina. And she says, thank you for the card from Alma, which is the card that I sent her last, I believe. And she says she started volunteering at a new organization. So I really appreciate that she gives back to her community and has the time to do so. There are the Halloween stamps and the Lou paper card for all those people that collect Lou paper. All right, next card comes from Rovik in the Philippines. He had this card from England in his collection. He said he was on vacation. It took 20 hours to get to where they wanted it to be in the south of Manila. And he is looking forward to getting back to school. So I assume he's back now. He is a fantastic student by all of his accounts. And he seems to excel at school. So it is nice that he's excited to be back there. Not every kid gets excited about being in school. There's the stamps. So thank you, Rovik. Next card comes from David in California. And if you see this, at first I was like, I know what that is. And then the card said something, and I was like, maybe I didn't know what that is, but I was right the first time. These are waves crashing, but it's a bird's eye view of waves crashing on a rocky coastline. It's called dandelions because it does look like dandelions. He said, David said, this card was recently featured on the Postcrossing site as a part of Clark Little's Hawaii photos. And there are the stamps. So thank you so much, David, for that information. And the beautiful card. Made me think. All right, next card comes from Katja in Sweden. And they have been having so much rain there. She needs a little bit of a break. She said she kind of would rather have snow and a blue sky than rainy and dark. There is some truth to that. When I lived out in Vancouver, my wife and I lived in Vancouver, it rained so much and you didn't get to see the majestic mountains because the cloud cover was so low. And it was just dreary all the days. And people do have seasonal affective disorder, SAD they call it. And you could really want to go home to a winter blanket, and a winter blanket of snow, that is, and a blue sky. It makes all the difference. But it's still snow, and sometimes it is a mess to be in. All right, you guys see these stamps. Love the triangle stamp. Thank you, Katya. And Katya wasn't done. She sent another one. We have this beautiful colored one. This is they're gonna go to the lake and take their boat out. It's that time of the year before everything freezes over. And there are the stamps. So thank you so much, Katya. Hopefully everything got done that you wanted to do. All right, this next card comes from Media in Finland, but she happened to be in Estonia at the time. Look how cute those winter stamps are. And when I felt the card, I had an idea what might be inside. Not that I knew the image, but I knew it was a metal card. So this card's from Finland, but I'm going to send it while she was on her business trip. So thank you so much. Little VW van at the beach with their surfboards. Looks like California to me. This is ready for summer. I'm ready for summer, even though winter has yet to begin. Now, she wasn't done. She sent me a second one. This one from Finland. Got some very cute stamps. I see the barcode is showing up on some of them. So inside, she sent me a Christmas card, and she said this reminded her of Canada. It reminds me of Canada too, with the covered bridge and the snow and the horse and sleigh rides being in the kids. I think probably there's parts of Finland that look like this too. I don't know. Maybe they don't have a lot of covered bridges. Maybe that's not a Finnish thing. I don't know, but the rest definitely looks like here. And then she sent me this beautiful floral card, which is blank, so I can send that off to others. So thank you, Media, for the Christmas greetings. Let's set that aside. All right, this next one comes from Broken Owl Productions. So it's not something I knew about. It was a surprise. There's the forever stamp that showed up in that. And they sent me this. Merry Christmas from Chicago. And inside the card it says, greetings, hope you enjoy the early Christmas gift. Our new postcards for Postcrossing. Visit our shop at the QR link on the right. So this is from Armand at Broken Owl Productions, and I'm going to show you the link if you guys want to scan that and go see the cards on his Etsy site. But I'm going to show you the cards that they sent. They sent me 2 of each. So we have this T-Rex in a Santa hat. And it's a good thickness paper, so yeah. It's called Santa Rex, the 2022 ones. You can see that's what the back looks like. Very nice. And then this artistic one too. Conclusion from Walden, watercolors of 2003. On the back it says, I left the woods for as good a reason as I went there. Perhaps it seemed to me that I had several more lives to live and could not spare any more time for that one. Thoughtful. All right. So thank you very much, Broken Owl Productions, for sending me a few cards. And hopefully some of my subscribers go and check out your site, and maybe there'll be some cards there that they'll want to get. All right. This next one was a surprise. It comes from Alona, and she's in the Ukraine. Now, I think Alona, I'd sent her a card through official Postcrossing, and she just sent me one back, Peace for Ukraine. But beautiful stamps on it, and inside she had sent some stamps. So I'm going to set that aside, and you'll see that in another video. But I did want to mention it, that if you happen to be watching Alona, I really appreciated that, and it will add to a nice Ukrainian collection that I've been trying to work on. All right, this next envelope comes from my friend Sam, and she's in Illinois. We have that. And inside, Sam sent, you see the wax seal there too. I really like when people do the wax seals. We have this nice card, and I'm going to leave it at that because it is part of my monthly series. It's an answer, it's a recipe card, so you will hear more about that. But she sent me this, she made it. So we have a unicorn. Have a magical week. That's kind of what I say, isn't it? Have a magical week. So I appreciate that. The unicorn for the Unicorn Gang with all the stamps in it. And a nice message on the back. When she sent this on November 11th, it was 45 degrees Fahrenheit there. So there is another surprise in it. But we are going to leave that. And other people will figure out what the surprise is. Maybe. All right. Now, let's get into, I've got 2 last things. You've stuck with me this long so far. We've got Eric in Ontario, who normally sends a weekly card and a weekly envelope. Whatever reason, the mail got caught up last week and it didn't arrive. So I got 2 this week. So this one comes from Eric, and I'm opening the oldest one first because he does, well, first he sent this. He had this porcupine image. And he sent this card, and on this card it says, found a hedgehog on the table today, hope you enjoy. And then his birthday was on November 22nd, so happy belated birthday to you, Eric. And he said, what's the king's favorite kind of pie? My favorite kind of pie is either pecan or blueberry. Those are probably the two favorites. If I'm in a restaurant, I will get. I do like to get a key lime pie from time to time. But yeah, there's certain times of the year I eat certain pies. Like pumpkin pie definitely at Thanksgiving, which U.S. Thanksgiving was yesterday. So happy belated Thanksgiving to all my American viewers. And I do like an apple pie, but it doesn't have to be at any specific occasion for that. In the summer, blueberry pie, key lime pie, yeah, and pecan pie is a special one. There are ones like chocolate pie. I find them a bit rich, so I don't get into that. He says, God save the Canadian postcard king. Now, one thing I didn't do, I didn't scratch off. Give me 1 second. I am going to keep talking to you, but you're going to sit right there and listen. I'm going to try to find something to scratch off this with. So far, with no luck. Should have a coin. Who has money anymore, though? Come on. One of you sing a song. Think of something. Oh, I think I found a key that will work. All right. I'm back again. Did you miss me? Oh, I think I got this question right. So it was a skeleton who's an unemployed skeleton. What do you call him? You call him lazy bones. So that was the answer in here. He said he added his 2 cents to the envelope this time. And what he meant by that, he sent these 2 1-cent postage stamps. So he added his 2 cents. He said this week's riddle is, what has a head and a tail but no body? What has a head and a tail but no body? Do you guys have any idea what that could be? A head and a tail. What has a head and a tail? Head of lettuce, but it doesn't have a tail. A kite? Maybe a kite. All right. And he also put in this dad joke. He says, I was excited to hear about Apple might be starting to sell its own cars. But then I learned they wouldn't support Windows. Wah, wah, wah. All right, so there was number 1. Card number 2 showed up, and he put this blank card in. So I've got a card to send out. Johnson's Cranberry Marsh in Ontario, Muskoka region. And he said, hello, the Royal Canadian Postcard King. Our country is entering into the holiday season, and here for the mail is slowing down? No, mail isn't slowing down. Oh, maybe it arriving, it's slowing down. Yes, I get it. He'll be therefore sending his mail earlier before your video comes out to prepare for this slowdown. And then he talks about his birthday, and he was supposed to get a gift card in an office. So for my birthday, which was in October, he ended up sending me a $10 gift card to Subway. So thank you so much for that. He also sent in this dad joke, which says, why are Saturday and Sundays the strongest days? Because the rest of the week, the rest are weekdays. Wah, wah, wah. All right, let's scratch off last week's answer for the riddle. So for those, oh, I should have known this answer. What has a head but no tail? You had like 30 seconds, a minute to come up with an answer because we've had these 2 envelopes come together. You're going to get the answer right away. So I hope you've already guessed, because you don't have time to leave it in the comment to tell me your answer. What has a head and a tail but no body? A coin. Of course a coin has a head and a tail. Ah, I should have known that. You got me. All right. Then he sent this. There's a weekly riddle for the Canadian Postcard King. All right, this is a bit of a long one, and you'll have to think about it. When moving forward in life, you'll be doing this for sure. But physically, you do it without even knowing. And when you're all done, part of you keeps going. You want it that way, so you keep learning. What are you doing as the years keep on turning? Long live the Canadian Postcard King. And he's got a wax seal on there. Could have had that wax seal here and made it official maybe. Yeah. Very cool though. All right, when you're moving forward in life, you'll be doing this for sure, but physically you know you do it without even knowing. And when you're all done, part of you keeps going. You want it that way, so you keep learning. What are you doing as the years keep on turning? I'm thinking growing. You're moving forward in life, you'll be doing this for sure. You're growing. So you're growing mentally, but physically you do it without even knowing. So yeah, your body grows even without putting any effort into it. And when you're all done, part of you keeps going. That doesn't fit. You want it that way, so you keep learning. What are you doing as the years keep on turning? Maybe, well, it's not learning. All right, you guys think what it might be, and you can leave your comments. That is all I've got. That is a lot, so I hope you enjoyed it. I've got some things I got to get done, and there's something else coming out this weekend that hopefully you'll enjoy as well. It's part of what I need to do. So I'm gonna have to say adieu, and have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?